Hi everyone, Michael Ojo here again with another vocal analysis, and today we're looking at another UK singer of the name of Priscilla Campbell. So Priscilla Jones, very agile, athletic, distinctive voice. She has a very warm, youthful, bright voice. It's clear as a bell. She has a high tessitura and she has a very fast vibrato that basically flutters like a bird. She's also able to manipulate the speed of the vibrato. So when she's in the light mix coordination, it's very fast. But when she gets into more of a chestier mix or a full bell, you know, the pulsation's a lot heavier and the speed is a lot slower. And so this basically, you know, adds what we like to call dramatic effect. You can imagine using this, using both speeds in a song and just the effect it would have on that vocal performance. Her chest voice is dark, it's weighty and has a clear ring. Her mixed register is extensive. It's a sweet, buttery tone, it's agile, it's silky, and she's able to sing very complex, melismatic, you know, leaps and trills with ease. The beautiful thing about her voice is that it's this beautiful a marriage of power and vocal beauty. Her voice never ever loses that feminine quality, that feminine beauty, you know, in its tone, even when it is, you know, combined with power. And that's very rare these days, because usually people substitute, you know, power for beauty or vice versa. And her head voice is pure, it's flute-like, and it can be aspirate at times. So using a classical vocal form, I would classify Priscilla Jones as a lyric conservatoire soprano. And conservatoire basically means that she's able to sing very complex melismatic passages with ease. In terms of her technique, she sings with an open throat, and this pharyngeal space begins to expand as she gets into her mix. And when she gets into this area, she begins to now incorporate twang, and she begins to also, you know, incorporate a lot of what we call vowel and timbre modification, where she begins to widen the vowels. And this basically helps keep her voice bright. It keeps the voice agile yet robust, so she's able to still do a lot of those melismatic leaps and trills, you know, and be as athletic as she wants to be, because she plays around a lot in this area. So she needs the right amount of vocal weight to really do and execute, you know, all of those runs and trills and whatever vocal acrobatics, you know, with precision. In terms of style, she plays a lot with vocal distortion, squalls and grit, you know, and growl, and she does a lot of this at the top end of her chest register. So in terms of her vocal blueprint, on all of her performances, which I have heard her do this thing where she does a lot of melodic improvisation, which basically weaves her chest and her head voice together. So she's going to do a lot of descending scales that start from her head, coming back down to chest, or starting from chest, or going back up to head. Usually she does more of head coming down, you know, to chest, and it takes a lot of control and skill to do this, and it's really her vocal blueprint. Her technique, now, her voice has evolved, and so what I've noticed is that her mixed register has lightened up, and her chest voice has actually got a lot darker and a lot weightier and thickened up. So I can definitely hear that now. She now paces herself when she does a lot of those mixed voice spells, but it still carries that vibrato and that agility. You know, as singers grow older, what tends to happen is that the first area of the voice that begins to be affected by gravity is what we call the upper register. And what tends to happen is that our chest voice gets a lot heavier, gets a lot weightier, and then all of a sudden you get this new voice, you know, which you never had before. And so there are many ways to address this if you want to change this. And so one of the ways to kind of work on this is a Swedish Italian, it's an old world Swedish Italian school of singing exercise, and it's basically called caperto, or caperto, or caperto, or caperto. One of them is Italian, so you know. And you know, the exercise is amazing for this, because basically caperto really works on bringing the thin edges of the vocal cords together. If you want to sing big, you really have to work on the thin edges of the vocal cords. If you can get them working together and basically vibrating together without the excess tension, eventually you can bring the whole vocal cord together. So this is going to really help rehabilitate, strengthen your voice. It's going to increase your range. It's going to bridge, you know, the head voice and the chest voice together, which oftentimes, you know, begins to separate or begins to, the difference in tonal quality becomes more evident as we grow older, you know, and it's really going to help with agility and that belting power. So remember, if you want to sing big, you really need to start small. There are many other exercises that will help with this. Overall, Priscilla Jones is an amazing singer, one in which I would encourage you all to listen to. She really is a work of art. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you not? Hopefully you do. See you in the next video.